After the New York Giants traded away defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence to the Cincinnati Bengals for the 10th overall pick in this year's draft, the New York Giants now hold two top 10 draft picks in this year's draft. A lot of reports coming out about what the Giants could possibly do at pick 5 and pick 10. A lot of tweets are coming out about what the Giants should do at pick 5 and pick 10. But in this video, I will give you what I think the Giants should do with these two top 10 picks in this year's draft. So before we get to that one, make sure you like, make sure you comment, and definitely hit the subscribe button and join the channel. Let's get right into this one. So at pick 5, a lot of reports are coming out about what players the Giants could take. Sonny Styles, linebacker at Ohio State, has been a guy that has been heavily favored throughout the draft process to be the guy at pick 5 for them. But also, safety for Ohio State, Caleb Downs, has also been a guy that has been favored for the Giants at pick 5. And you also have Jeremiah Love, running back out of Notre Dame. We know John Harbaugh loves his running backs. He loves his running game. He's also been a guy that could possibly be the guy at pick 5 for them. But if you asked me today, where do I think the Giants will go? Who do I think the Giants will take at pick 5? I think it will be Caleb Downs, safety out of Ohio State. Downs is arguably the best player in this year's class. Where you're not looking at positional value, you're looking at just who is the best player. Caleb Downs, for without a doubt, is in the conversation. Now, when we're looking at teams ahead of the New York Giants at pick 5, we know that the Raiders will take Fernando Mendoza at pick 1. Most likely, the Jets will be taking an edge rusher, right if it's Arvell Reese, right if it's Ruben Bain Jr. or David Bailey. We know for a fact that the Jets will be taking an edge rusher at pick 2. Then you have the Cardinals at pick 3, where that is a team that reportedly wants to trade back. They do want to trade back, but if they cannot find a trade partner to trade back, they will take Jeremiah Love at pick 3. That's a guy that a lot of buzz is starting to be talked about at pick 3 with the Cardinals with Jeremiah Love. And then you look at the Titans, they're a team that could go Jeremiah Love if he sneaks past the Arizona Cardinals and they're able to trade back with the Chiefs maybe or something like that. We know that the Titans would definitely possibly take Jeremiah Love, but they are a team that could also go with Sonny Styles. Sonny Styles gets a lot of Fred Warner comps. We know that Robert Saleh coached Fred Warner over there in San Francisco. He's the new head coach over there in Tennessee. He could find his Fred Warner for his Tennessee Titans defense in Sonny Styles. And that would leave Caleb Downs on the board for the New York Giants. And I think that's a guy you just can't pass up on. I think it's, one of those type of situations where you just take the best player, you take great football players. And I think Caleb Downs personally is an elite safety prospect. He's a versatile guy. He's a guy that can play deep. He's a guy that can play in the box. He's a guy that you can rush him off the edge if you need to. He's just a prospect that I think is an elite. I think he's a guy that would fit the Giants defense like a glove, a defense that lacks a lot of talent in the secondary also. I think Caleb Downs could be that Kyle Hamilton for John Harbaugh's defense here in New York. So with the pick 5, depending on how the board falls, I think Caleb Downs will be there. I think that if he is there, he's a guy that you just can't pass up on. And I personally would take Caleb Downs over Sonny Styles if both those guys, for some reason, are on the board at 5 for the New York Giants. Now let's get into pick 10. Pick 10 is more of a, wide variety of prospects. There's a lot of guys the Giants could take at pick 10. I think if the Giants end up with an Ohio State defender at pick 5, rather than Sonny Styles or Caleb Downs, which I think right now is kind of a lock to happen. I think at pick 5, the Giants are definitely going to go with an Ohio State defender, right, if it is Sonny Styles or Caleb Downs. It leaves open the possibility at pick 10 that they can go anywhere. They can go anywhere. They could double dip in the secondary if they take Caleb Downs at pick 5 and possibly go Mansour Delane, cornerback out of LSU. I like Mansour Delane. I think he is the best cornerback in this class. I think Gerard McCoy's injury history and his, possibly having to have another surgery prior to the draft is going to really drop his stock. And I think Mansour Delane is, a great cornerback prospect. He's not the tallest, but we're looking at a guy that is just an elite coverage guy. I think he would fit the Giants like a glove. Then you also have Jordyn Tyson. Jordyn Tyson, wide receiver out of Arizona State. I really, really do like Jordyn Tyson. And if I had to make the pick, and if Jordyn Tyson is on the board at pick 10, I think that is where I would go. You also have Cardinal Tate, who could be a guy that the Giants could look at. I think that wide receiver is a huge position the Giants could look at pick 10, depending on how the board falls. And then obviously you also have offensive line. You have Vega Ione, guard out of Penn State. I know a lot of Giants fans like him. You have Francis Maianoa, tackle out of Miami, who could make the position switch to guard. As you know, Jermaine Illuminar was able to re-sign with the Giants as to be the starting right tackle for the team. Then you can look at Francis Manoa being the future right tackle for the team a couple years down the line. The pick 10 can go a lot of ways. It can go a lot of ways. But if I had to make the choice, if you ask me, who do I want at pick 5? Who do I want at pick 10? I would go with Caleb Downs, safety out of Ohio State at pick 5 for the Giants. And then depending on how the board falls, I would take a wide receiver. My favorite wide receiver in this class is Jordyn Tyson out of Arizona State. I know the injury history it's a long one. You know, the ACL injury he suffered as a freshman at Colorado. Then that made him miss his sophomore year. And then, you know, he had a broken collarbone. And then he had a hamstring issue last year. I know the wide receiver board is all over the place depending on who you like. But we're looking at a guy that has the highest potential. We're looking at a guy that could be possibly a 1,300-yard receiver, an actual alpha wide receiver 1. I think that is Jordyn Tyson. Cardinal Tate, who I like, I feel like he is a wide receiver 2. I feel like he is a high-end wide receiver 2, but his ceiling basically will be a wide receiver 2 in the NFL. Mekhi Lemon, more of a slot guy. I don't think he really fits what the Giants need right now. The Giants need an outside receiver threat alongside Malik Neighbors, who's coming off an ACL injury in his own right. And I think Jordyn Tyson would be that guy for me at pick 10. But there is a lot of positions the Giants can go at with both of these picks. I heard some people say that the Giants could possibly take Jordyn Tyson at pick 5. And I think it would be a shocker, but I would understand how the Giants could be thinking. They said, hey, we could take our guy here, you know, a guy that we was going to take at pick 10 anyway, take him at pick 5, and then see how the board falls, see if Caleb Downs can somehow fall to pick 10 and take him at pick 10, kind of swapping what I want the Giants to do in the first place. A lot of places the Giants can go, a lot of positions the Giants can go, definitely at pick 10. But let me know how you think. How do you feel about these picks? How do you want the Giants to use these picks? Do you think the Giants should go offensive player at pick 5 and then see if Caleb Downs or Mansour Delane falls to pick 10, go that route? Or do you want to go the route like I say, and that is taking an Ohio State defender right after Sonny Styles or Caleb Downs at pick 5, and then possibly go Jordyn Tyson, wide receiver, offensive line, or corner at pick 10? Let me know your thoughts down below. A lot of scenarios can happen when you have 2 top 10 draft picks. I think that the Giants got immense value for Dexter Lawrence. I like Dexter Lawrence. I love me some Dexter Lawrence. But when you're looking at the trade and what the Giants could have got back, I feel like this was the best case scenario. Getting a top 10 pick for a defensive tackle in this type of draft class where you have holes, you have needs, and you end up picking 2 top 10 talents. I think that's a win-win for the New York Giants. Let me know your thoughts down below. Tell me how you're feeling. We'll be back with more draft content leading up to Thursday. It's Big Boy J Dimes, and I am out. Peace. Thanks for watching.